Hello everyone, my name is Anurag Jain. I am a developer advocate with Thales Group. In this video today, I am going to talk about CipherTrust RESTful Data Protection or CRDP, which is a relatively new connector in the family of CipherTrust Data Security Platform connectors. CRDP is a containerized application that allows the developers to invoke simple REST APIs to protect the data while leaving all the cryptography related details or complexities to the security expert in your organization. This way, a developer can keep his focus on implementing the business logic and using the simple APIs exposed by CRDP, he can still achieve the data compliances. He can still achieve the important goal of securing sensitive information with minimal effort. In another video, we will also talk about more advanced topics like how you can separate the duties and thus offloading the dev and the ops team of complicated yet critical requirements of meeting data privacy compliances such as PCI DSS, GDPR or HIPAA. But for today, we will be focusing on just getting you started. So this particular video, it assumes that you have CipherTrust Manager running or installed in your ecosystem. You can use the free 90-day trial or you can also use the community edition for this particular demo. And if you scroll down a bit further, we have also provided a Helm chart that can help you in deploying CRDP very quickly on a Kubernetes environment. For the purpose of this demo, I'm going to use for the purpose of this particular demo, I'm going to use a Minikube on a Ubuntu machine. You can use any flavor of Kubernetes, but yeah, I'm using Minikube just for the simplification. And this particular chart can help you in getting started very quickly. So let's follow these instructions and install. Yeah, so I already have Minikube running on my machine. I just need to pull the chart. I just need to install that particular chart on my local machine. And once that installation of the chart is done, we just need to prepare a values.yaml file. I already have a YAML file created at my end. You just need to provide few details like what is the IP address of the CipherTrust manager that you're using. I'm using no TLS to interact with CipherTrust Manager, but you can also enable TLS, and there are steps which are documented, and I will share the link of the documentation as part of the video description. You need to get this registration token from CipherTrust Manager so that CRDP can authenticate and pull all the required policies and assets to protect and reveal the data. So let's head back to CipherTrust Manager. I have a CipherTrust Manager instance running locally on my VirtualBox environment. You can have your CipherTrust Manager running anywhere. So I'm going to log in into CipherTrust Manager, and I going to go into the tile which is application data protection. So, to get started, you need to add an application and you need to define what is called access policy and protection policy. So, let's start with the protection policy first. And while I have few created already, but let me create one quickly. So, I'm going to tell that, using this particular protection policy, whenever you perform any cryptographic operation on the data, I will be using AES CBC PKCS5 padding as an algorithm. I'll be using a key. So let's create a key right away. And it doesn't need to be anything fancy. You can just go ahead and create a key here. And you might, before being able to use this, we just need to enable few things. So if I head back to the keys, this is the one which I just created. We just need to make sure that the key is exportable. We can also keep it deletable, although that is not mandatorily required. We need to make sure that the key usage has encrypt and decrypt enabled. And then we also need to tell CipherTrust Manager that all application data protection admins and clients should be able to perform all these operations on this particular key. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to head back to application data protection. In my protection policies, let's create this protection policy again. So I'm going to name it demo. I'm selecting the algorithm, and we can, I will be having a separate video telling you like what are different algorithms and which algorithm you can use in a particular use case. But yeah, I'm just selecting this particular algorithm right now. I'm going to select the key, and I need to also define the access policy, that while someone is trying to access this data, whatever is being protected using this demo protection policy, if someone is trying to access that, what are the various rules are that are applied to that access operation. So let's call this a demo. And this is the interesting part. Here you can tell that, okay, if I'm going to reveal my data, I need to make sure that a user X will see the data in a plain text, user Y can see some fields of the data in plain text but not all, and an entirely outside user, a user Z, can only see cryptographic data or all encrypted data, right? So I have a couple of users, user sets and users created. Let's just add another one. So let's call it demo plane, and I'm going to add user plane to it. You can based on the users created in your own organization, you can put all the users in this particular user set. I'm just taking a user with username plain as my input. Okay, I will create one more user set just to demo the masked information use case. And I'm going to add a user with name mask here. So with these user sets created, let's define the exact policy. So with demo plain, I want the user to see plain text. And I also need to define the user set rule for demo masks. And in this case, I'm saying that masked value will be visible to the user mask. And I'm also telling that, okay, this is how I want the user to see the data. First two digits, last four digits, that's it, right? Save, moving to next. And I can, for any user which is not in those user sets, I can say that he should see ciphertext, right? Or I can even give a error replacement value saying not authorized. So let's save this, and I'm going to use this access policy. I'm going to associate this particular access policy with the protection policy. I'm going to leave the rest of the details as is, and let me create this. Okay, if I head back to the applications, I just need to tell that my application name is demo, my application type is CRDP, and I can select a local CA. Otherwise, it will pick the default CA, on itself. So you can leave it blank as well, and that's it. We just need to save this. So this has resulted in this registration token which we were looking for earlier. So let me copy that registration token and let me use this one instead. Okay, I let me just put a space here, and I'm defining this Helm chart in a way that the service is node port, and I will do a port forwarding just for this example, but you can define your own ingress or you can define your own networking, but I will be using port forwarding along with node port to run this demo. Okay, that should be it. Now let's install this chart which we just created. Install. So this is the one which I'm using. So crdp.yaml is the file which we were working on earlier, and let's just install it. Okay. So if I go and see Helm list, so it says my application is deployed, and let's do a port forward. kubectl port forward. So I'm just going to, okay, before doing this, let's just see the list of ports, and I'm going to apply this port forward on the port which we have got from this command execution, right? So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to map and 8090 is my CRDP application port, and I'm basically mapping it to 32,000. And let's run this. I have my Postman running. So I'm going to test it using Postman. So this is my cluster IP. 32,000 is the node, the port which I exposed, and my protection policy name is demo. With this information, if I press send, so if you see, it has returned the protected data as the encrypted value. Okay, now we did create a couple of users earlier. So let's see how, the other endpoint is reveal. So let's see how that reveal worked with the user set policies that we created. So we created two. One was mask, and that was supposed to return, first two characters and last four. Oh, okay. Yep. So, based on the policy, it has returned the first two characters and the last four characters. That's, basically that's my original data. Uh, 45 and 3835. However, if I change this user, instead of mask, if I use plain, I should receive the complete string and, let's say hacker. Any user which is neither part of the plain text or masked user sets, let's see, he should get not authorized as the output. So as you can see, with CRDP, you can use a couple of REST API endpoints. One is just protect and one is reveal. And based on all the policies which have been created on CipherTrust Manager, CRDP is able to work with those policies using just one access token, this registration token. CRDP is able to pull all that information and do the data protection and data reveal operations for you. Okay, this is it for this particular video. In the next video, we will go into some of the details in terms of like how the central management works and how CRDP, gets updated as and when anything changes on Cypress Manager. That way is, floating a lot of work of developer and the ops team, and overall reducing the drag for the developer team in terms of, applying security to their sensitive information. If you like the video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel, and keep tuned for many more such videos. Thank you so much for watching this.